I am not giving gifts for my nephew's birthdays because they never give anything to my children. For 6 years in a row, I showed up at every one of my nephew's birthdays with wrapped gifts. When Matthias turned 7, I brought that expensive robot kit he wanted. When Lucas turned 5, I bought the dinosaur set from the fancy toy store. Every year, twice a year, I spent a minimum of $40 per child and drove 30 minutes to their house. My children, Leo and Sophia, are 8 and 6 now, and in all these years, not once did my brother Javier or his wife bring anything for their birthdays. Not a birrie card, not a dollar store toy, nothing. They would arrive, eat the cake, let their kids play, and then leave. Last year was terrible. My son Leo had his birthday, and I specifically asked that Matthias and Lucas attend because he wanted to show them his new bike. I sent 3 messages to Javier, confirming they were going. They arrived 2 hours late, stayed for 15 minutes, and left without even singing happy birthday. My daughter still asks where they went. 2 months later, the invitation for Matthias's 9th birthday arrived in the mail. One of those printed, nice invitations with a superhero theme. My husband saw me looking at it and said, "Don't tell me you're going to buy another gift, right?" I thought about it for 3 days. I checked my Amazon purchase history and counted 12 birthday gifts I had bought for my nephews over the years. Then I reviewed the photos from my children's birthdays. Javier's family didn't appear with a single gift in any of the recent photos. I decided we were going to the party anyway, but I walked in empty-handed. My mom was already there and immediately pulled me aside. "Where is Matthias's gift?" she whispered. "I didn't bring one." Her face turned red. "What do you mean you didn't bring one? Everyone brings gifts to a birthday?" "Not everyone, Mom. Javier and his family never brought anything to my kids' birthdays. That's different." "Why is it different?" Mom lowered her voice and pulled me further away from the other guests. "They have 2 kids, you only have 2 as well, it's different." "Exactly, 2 kids each. So why did I buy 24 gifts in 6 years and they bought 0? Don't be dramatic." "I'm not being dramatic. I'm being exact." I pulled out my phone and showed my notes. "Look, here is every gift, every date, every price." Mom didn't even look at the screen. "Put that away, people are going to see you." "Let them see. Why are you acting like this?" "Because I'm tired, Mom. Tired of being the only one making an effort in this family." Javier appeared behind Mom. "What's going on here?" "Your sister didn't bring a gift for Matthias," Mom said. Javier looked at me as if it were something strange. "Seriously, why not? How many times have you not brought gifts for my kids' birthdays, Javier?" He stayed silent. His wife, Claudia, approached holding Matthias's hand. "What's happening?" asked Claudia. "Apparently, my sister decided my son doesn't deserve a gift from you." "Don't say that. So what are you saying?" I took a deep breath. People around us started noticing the tension. Some cousins stopped talking. The kids kept playing, oblivious to everything. "I'm saying that for 6 years I bought gifts for your children, good gifts, expensive ones, and in all that time, not once did you bring anything for mine." Claudia frowned. "That's not true. We brought things." "When?" "I'm not going to make a registry like you apparently do." "Yes. Then name one time, a single time you appeared with a gift." Claudia looked at Javier. Javier looked at the ground. "Exactly. Go on. You can't because it never happened." "Maybe we forgot a few times," said Javier. "But it's not a big deal." "It's not a big deal, Javier? Your kids received the $400 robot, the $300 dinosaur set, last year's tablet, board games, clothes, books from me. Do you want me to continue?" "Nobody asked you to spend so much," said Claudia. "Nobody asked me to spend anything, but I did it because I thought that's what family does, that's what you would do for my children too." Mom tried to intervene. "Honey, we can do this in private." No more private. I'm not pretending everything is fine anymore." Javier took a step toward me. "You're ruining my son's birthday." "I'm not ruining anything. I just came without a gift, like you have done with my children for years." "You are selfish." That word hit me. Selfish? Me, who had driven 30 minutes every time, who had spent thousands of dollars, who had wrapped every gift with care, who had always been punctual. Selfish? I repeated desperately. I am selfish? Yes. You come here to make a scene at Matthias's birthday because you don't know what your problem is? My problem is that my children spent 6 years asking me why their uncle and aunt don't love them. That was when Claudia stepped back a little. My daughter cried last year. She cried because she waited all afternoon for you to arrive. I sent 3 messages confirming. You arrived 2 hours. Hours late, stayed 15 minutes, and left without even singing happy birthday. We had another commitment, said Javier. You always have another commitment, but expect me to cancel everything to come here, to spend money I don't have, to act as if nothing is wrong. Nobody forces you to come, said Claudia. You're right, nobody forces me. Aunt Elena approached. What is this scandal? Mom explained quickly. It's a misunderstanding. We already fixed it. There's nothing to fix, I said. I just set a boundary. A boundary? Questioned Aunt Elena. What boundary? The boundary of reciprocity. If you don't come to my kids' birthdays with gifts, I won't come to yours with gifts either. That is childish, said Javier. Maybe, but it's fair. My husband appeared with our 2 children. Everything okay? Let's go, I told him. Yes? Asked my youngest son. But we haven't had cake. There will be no cake for us today. Javier let out a dry laugh. Grow up already. I turned to him. Growing up is exactly what I am doing. Growing up is knowing when to stop allowing people to treat me poorly. Nobody treats you poorly, said Mom. You are the one exaggerating. Everything. Exaggerating? Mom, how many times did you defend your grandkids when Javier didn't show up for their birthdays? Silence. How many times did you tell Javier he should be reciprocal? More silence. Never, because it's always me who has to yield, who has to understand, who has to be the bigger person because I'm the oldest, said Mom, as if that explained everything. Being the oldest doesn't mean being the fool. Claudia took Matthias and walked away. Some cousins were murmuring among themselves. My oldest son tugged at my sleeve. Mom, are you mad? No, my love, I'm just setting limits. What are limits? It's when you tell people how you want to be treated. Javier shook his head. Incredible. Now you're putting ideas into your kids' heads. They aren't ideas, they are values. Something clearly they didn't teach you. You know what? Leave. Nobody wants you here. Nobody wants. Perfect, because I don't want to be here either. I took my children's hands. My husband put his hand on my back in a sign of support. We started walking toward the exit. Mom caught up to us. Wait, please don't leave like this. How do you want me to leave, Mom? Smiling and pretending? Just give me time to talk to Javier. You had 6 years to talk to Javier. 6 years where you saw how they treated my children and said nothing. I didn't want to cause problems in the family. The problems already existed. You just decided to ignore them. He is my son. Both of you are my children. I don't want you to be fighting. Then tell your son that reciprocity is important, that family works both ways. I will. I promise I will. Promises mean nothing without actions, Mom. We kept walking, got into the car. My children were confused but quiet. My husband drove in silence for the first 10 minutes. I'm proud of you, he finally said. Yes, it was time. Do you think I exaggerated? Not at all. You were very soft with him for years. You just returned the same energy. We went home. I helped the kids change clothes. My daughter asked me why we left early. Because sometimes, you have to leave places where you aren't valued. Does Uncle Javier not value us? Uncle Javier is learning to value us, and Grandma too. That night, after putting the kids to bed, I checked my phone. I had 17 messages. 14 were from family asking what had happened. 2 were from Mom. 1 was from Javier. I opened Javier's first. I hope you're happy ruining my son's birthday. You always knew how to be dramatic. I replied, I didn't ruin anything. I just applied the same rule you have applied for years. No response. Mom's messages said, please call me. We need to talk. I didn't call her. Family messages. I stopped looking at them. My husband made tea and we sat on the couch. "How do you feel?" he asked. "Weird, liberated, but weird. Regretful? No. Tired of carrying the weight of maintaining relationships alone. You have the right to be tired. Do you think I'm selfish? I think finally you are prioritizing yourself. And that isn't selfishness. It's mental health." 3 days later, Javier wrote again. Mom called 2 more times. I didn't answer. Some cousins sent me neutral messages. I ignored them. On the 4th day, a package arrived. It was from Claudia. Open with care. Inside were 2 cheap toys and a note for my children. "Sorry for the delay." I looked at the toys. They were the kind sold in the discount store bin, $1 each at most. I took a photo and sent it to my husband. "Did you see this?" "Yes. What do you think?" "I think they still don't get the point." Was it a response? "Don't put the toys in a box. Don't give them to my kids." It was an insult disguised as an apology. That night, I started doing math. In 6 years, I had spent exactly $2,400 on gifts for Javier's children. $2,400 that could have been used for my own children's activities. For their swimming lessons, for their school supplies, for their college fund. I felt rage. Rage toward Javier for taking advantage. Rage toward Claudia for allowing it. Rage toward Mom for never defending me, but more than anything, rage toward myself for allowing it for so long. My husband found me looking at the receipts. "Stop torturing yourself." "I'm not torturing myself. I'm processing." "What are you going to do now?" "I'm going to call my mother and I'm going to tell her exactly what I need to rebuild this relationship." "Are you sure?" "Completely." I dialed Mom's number. She answered. On the 2nd ring. "Daughter." "Hi, Mom." "Thank God, I thought you were never going to call. I need to tell you some things and I need you to just listen." "Okay." I took a deep breath and started speaking. "Mom, for 6 years I was the only one maintaining the relationship between our families. I brought gifts. I drove 30 minutes. I never arrived late. And Javier doesn't even send a birthday message for my kids. He is busy with his work. I work too, Mom, and I still find time. Men are different. That is not an excuse. Claudia doesn't do anything either." Mom sighed. "What do you want me to do?" "I want you to stop minimizing what happened. I want to know that you recognize that Javier and Claudia were unfair to my children." "Okay, it was unfair. And I want you to talk to Javier. Tell him this can't go on like this." "I already talked to him." "When?" "Yesterday after you left." "Ooh. And what did he say?" "He said you were exaggerating, that he didn't realize it was important to you." "He didn't realize, Mom. Seriously, he told you that. A lie. I sent him direct messages asking him to come to my kids' birthdays. He ignored them. Maybe he didn't see them. He saw them. He left." Me on red. Mom stayed silent. "You see? There is no way to defend him. He is my son, and you are his sister. But it seems only he deserves your protection." "Don't say that. It's the truth. It was always like this. Javier does what he wants and you justify it. I set a boundary and I'm the bad guy." "You aren't the bad guy." "Then stop treating me like I am." I hung up before she could respond. The next day, messages started coming from other relatives. My cousin Anna wrote, "Javier told me what happened. How ugly that you did that." I replied, "What exactly did he tell you?" "That I didn't bring a gift for Matias and caused a scene. He said because you are mad about something." I sent her screenshots, all the messages Javier ignored, all the invitations to my kids' birthdays he rejected, the list of gifts I bought versus the 0 they gave. Anna didn't respond. My Uncle Carlos called. My uncle. Me. "Daughter, family is important. We can't fight over nonsense." "It's not nonsense, Uncle. It's 6 years of inequality. But the kids aren't to blame." "Exactly. My kids aren't to blame that their uncle and aunt don't love them. Javier loves them." "How do you know?" "Because he is their brother." That doesn't answer my question. Uncle Carlos changed the subject quickly and ended the call. I spent 3 days receiving calls from 7 relatives. All had already spoken to Javier first. All had the same version. I was the dramatic one who ruined a child's birthday. My husband found me making a folder on the computer. What happened? Organizing proof. Proof of what? Of everything. Dates, receipts, messages, photos. For what? For the family reunion I am going to call. Are you sure about that? Completely. Javier is telling his version. I am going to tell the truth. With evidence. I spent the whole afternoon organizing. I printed every Amazon receipt, every WhatsApp message, every birthday photo where Javier and Claudia didn't appear. I created a simple presentation. No frills, just facts and dates. Year 1, 2 gifts bought, 0 received. Year 2, 2 gifts bought, 0 received. And so it went until year 6. I also included screenshots of messages where Javier confirmed attendance and then didn't show up, or arrived late or left early. My daughter came into the room while I was working. Mommy, why do Matthias and Lucas not love me? My heart broke. Why do you say that, my love? Because they never come to my birthdays, and when they come, they don't play with me. I kneeled down to be at her height. They do love you, but their parents didn't teach them to show it well. Is it my fault? No, it's never your fault. Then, why did you get mad at the party? I didn't get mad, I just set a boundary. What is a boundary? It's when you tell someone they cannot treat you badly. Uncle Javier treats us badly. Sometimes yes, without realizing it. That's why I need to talk to him. And after, will he come to my parties? That depends on him. I want him to come, but to bring a gift like we do. I hugged her tight. She understood better than the adults. That night, I sent a message to the family group. I need to talk to everyone. This is important. Saturday at 3 p.m. at my house. Please confirm attendance. Javier responded. First, I'm not going. Mom, what is this about? It's about clarifying things with evidence. Aunt Elena, I'll be there. Uncle Carlos, count on me. Cousin Anna, I'm going. Claudia didn't respond. Javier wrote in private. If you're going to continue with your drama, save it. I replied. It's not drama, it's the truth. But you're right. It's not necessary for you to come. This meeting is for the family that wants to listen. He blocked me. I took a screenshot of that too. Friday night, I reviewed my entire presentation. My husband checked it. It's solid, irrefutable. Do you think it will change anything? I don't know, but at least everyone will know the truth. That is sufficient for me. That night, I barely slept. I reviewed in my mind every possible reaction, every possible defense Javier could give, every excuse Mom could invent. But it didn't matter anymore. I had made the decision to stop being invisible in my own family. Saturday afternoon, I cleaned the living room, prepared coffee, connected my laptop to the television. My kids were at a friend's house. It was better that way. At 2:45, they started arriving. Aunt Elena came first, then Uncle Carlos with his wife, Cousin Anna, my cousin Jose. Mom arrived at 3 on the dot. Javier didn't arrive. Claudia neither. Shall we start? Asked Aunt Elena. Let's wait 5 more minutes. At 3:05, no one else had arrived. Okay, let's start. I stood in front of everyone. My hands were shaking, but my voice was firm. Thank you for coming. I know Javier told the version of what happened at Matthias's birthday. Today I am going to show you mine, with proof. I turned on the television and started the presentation. Nobody said a word for the next 20 minutes. When I finished, the silence was absolute. Finally, Aunt Elena spoke. I had no idea it was so serious. Why did no one ask him? Everyone assumed I was the bad guy. Uncle Carlos shook his head. Javier should have told me that. Javier will never admit he did wrong. That's why I needed to show you myself. Mom was crying silently. Cousin Anna looked at me. I'm sorry. I should have asked for your version before judging you. Thank you. What do you need from us? Asked Uncle Carlos. I need you to understand why I set this boundary and to respect my decision. What decision? Asked Mom. The decision to no longer participate in Javier's birthdays until there is real reciprocity. Mom opened her mouth to protest. No, Mom. Now you are not going to convince me to yield. She closed her mouth. Aunt Elena stood up and hugged me. You did well to defend yourself. One by one, everyone approached. Everyone except Mom. She stayed seated, staring at the blank screen. When everyone left, she stayed. What are you going to do now? She asked. I'm going to live my life without expecting anything from Javier or Claudia. He is your brother. I know, but that doesn't give him the right to treat me badly. Mom finally nodded. I'm going to talk to him. With the truth this time. Don't do it for me. Do it because it's the right thing. She left without saying more. I turned everything off, cleaned the coffee cups. My husband arrived with the kids an hour later. How did it go? Good. Everyone understood. And Javier? He didn't come. Of course not. That night I slept peacefully for the first time in weeks. I had told my truth with proof, without screaming, without drama, just facts. And that was enough. 4 days passed without news from Javier. Mom called on Wednesday. I spoke with your brother and he is upset. He says you made him look bad in front of the family. He looked bad all on his own. I just showed the facts, data I didn't know were so important to you. Mom, I sent messages directly multiple times. He said he didn't see them, so he's bad. It means we don't matter to him. Mom sighed. Can I organize a dinner so you two can talk? No. If Javier wants to talk, he knows where I live. Daughter, please, I'm not going to chase him to treat me well. That's over. I hung up. On Friday, Javier finally wrote, We need to talk. I replied, I am here personally. Come to my house on Saturday at 10 a.m. I prefer a neutral place. My house or nothing. No response for 2 hours. Fine, okay. Saturday at 10, I told my husband. Javier is coming Saturday. Do you want to be present? Yes, in another room, just in case. On Saturday, Javier arrived at 10:15. He rang the doorbell 3 times in a row. I opened the door. He looked tired. Hi. Hi. He walked straight into the living room without waiting for an invitation. He sat on my sofa as if it were his house. Do you want coffee? I asked. I didn't come to drink coffee. I sat in the armchair across from him. What did you come for then? To clarify. Things. Mom says you made a whole presentation about me, about the situation, not about yourself. It's the same thing. No, it's not the same. Javier leaned back. Look, I know you're upset, but you exaggerated. Exaggerated in what part? In telling the truth or showing proof? You made a spectacle. You could have talked to me in private. I tried. For 6 years. You ignored every message. I didn't ignore them. I was busy. Too busy to answer a message, but not too busy to post photos on Facebook every day. Javier frowned. Are you spying on me? There is no need to spy. Your posts are public. I didn't come to fight, then what did you come for? He stayed silent for a moment. He toyed with his car keys. Claudia says we should fix this, that the family is divided because of us. It's not because of us, it's because of your fault. See? That's why I can't talk to you. Javier, look at me. Look at me and tell me honestly. Did you know you never brought gifts for my kids? He looked at me. I thought it didn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Because you were always different. You don't attach to those things. Different like, I don't know, more independent. You didn't expect anything from anyone. That is not true. I just learned not to ask because I never received. Javier looked toward the window. I didn't know you felt that way. How else could I feel? My kids asked why their uncle and aunt didn't love them. Do you know what it feels like to have to invent excuses for you? You didn't have to invent anything. Then what do I tell them? That they don't matter to you? That to you they are invisible? That isn't fair. What isn't fair? The truth. Javier stood up, walked to the window. Okay, you're right. I wasn't consistent. I wasn't. No gifts? He sighed and sat back down. And what else do you want? I want to know why. Why did it never matter to you? It does matter. Just that Claudia and I had a lot of expenses. The kids, the house, the new car. I also have expenses and still found a way to buy gifts for your children. You earn more than me? That surprised me. What? Everyone knows you and your husband earn well. For you guys, $40 is nothing. Javier, we work 2 jobs each. We went into debt to buy those expensive gifts you asked for. What? I never asked for expensive gifts. Matias wanted the $400 robot. Claudia sent me the direct link. Javier went pale. I didn't know that. Of course not, because you never asked. I assumed everything was easy for you. He sat again, burying his face in his hands. I didn't know. Now you know. Several minutes passed in silence. I heard my husband moving in the kitchen. Javier finally spoke. What do you want to do? I want you to understand that reciprocity is important, that my children deserve the same effort I gave yours. Okay, I can do that. I don't want empty promises, Javier. I want consistent actions. Like what? Showing up at my kids' birthdays. Punctual, with a thoughtful gift, not something bought last minute. Messages on important dates, real presents. I can do that. And if you don't do it, what do you mean? If you fail again, if you ignore my children again, there will be no more chances. The relationship ends. Javier looked at me surprised. Seriously? Completely seriously. I'm not going to teach my children they should accept crumbs of affection. It's an ultimatum. It's a boundary. Learn the difference. He stood up. Okay, I'm going to try. Really. No, try intentionally. Do it. He walked to the door. Before leaving, he turned around. Today we can be family. We can, if you choose to be. He left, without saying more. My husband came out of the kitchen. Did you hear everything? Yes. Do you think he will change? I don't know, but at least now he knows what is at stake. That afternoon, Mom called. Javier had told her our conversation. He says you were very hard on him. I was clear. There is a difference. You gave him an ultimatum. He chooses what to do with that. And if there is no change, then my children will be better off without him. He is your brother, and you can choose to lose that relationship. Mom didn't know what to say. Mom, for years you protected Javier from the consequences of his actions. Not anymore. He is an adult. He can decide. You're right. Those 2 words froze me. Mom never admitted I had reasons for conflict with Javier. Are you thinking seriously about that? Yes, I saw the presentation, read the messages. There is no excuse for that. Thank you for acknowledging it, but I need you to promise me something. What? Give him a real chance. If he tries to change, recognize it. I will, but it has to be a real change, no theater. Okay. After hanging up, I sat on the porch. My daughter came out and joined me. Mommy, is Uncle Javier coming to my birthday? That depends on him. I want him to come, but I don't want him to make me feel bad. I hugged her. Nobody is going to make you feel bad ever again. I promise you. It's hard to set limits sometimes, but it's necessary. When I grow up, I'm going to set limits too. I smiled. That sounds perfect. That night, while we were having dinner, my husband asked, what happens if Javier really changed? Then he will have a real relationship with his nephews. And if not, then we will live well without him. No regrets. No regrets. You did everything possible. The rest is his responsibility. My son interrupted us. Can we talk about happy things? We all laughed. You're right. Let's talk about happy things. And that happened because my life was no longer going to revolve around Javier's failures. Finally, it revolved around my family, the one that values me. My son's birthday was in 3 weeks. I didn't invite Javier directly. He sent the invitation to the family group as always. Javier replied, "We will be there. What does your son like?" This message surprised me. It was the first time in 6 years he asked. He likes dinosaurs and science books. Perfect, thanks. My husband saw the exchange. Do you think it's genuine? I don't know, but I'm going to give him the chance I asked for. The days passed. Javier sent 2 more messages confirming the time and asking if he could bring some food. Not necessary, just your punctual presence. Understood. The day of the birthday, I prepared everything early. The party started at 2 p.m. At 1:45 p.m., Javier and Claudia arrived. I saw them from the window. Javier carried a gift bag. Claudia brought a Tupperware. I opened the door before they knocked. You arrived early. We wanted to make sure not to be late, said Javier. Come in. My son saw them and ran toward them. Uncle Javier, Aunt Claudia. Javier kneeled. Happy birthday, champ. He gave him the bag. My son opened it immediately. It was a high-quality dinosaur set and 2 books on paleontology. Mommy, look, just what I wanted. Javier looked at me. I nodded. Thank you. Claudia gave me the Tupperware. Homemade brownies, I know the kids like them. You didn't have to do that. I wanted to. The party went normally. Javier and Claudia stayed the whole time. They played with the kids, helped hand out the cake, sang happy birthday completely. When everyone left, Javier approached. Was it okay? It was okay. Can I talk to you for a moment? Sure. Claudia took the kids to the garden. Javier and I sat in the living room. I want to apologize for real for all these years. What will change from now on? I'm going to be present. I'm going to make an effort. I'll be the uncle I should have always been. Words are easy, Javier. That's why I'm going to demonstrate with actions. Okay, I'm giving you that opportunity. He left calmer. My husband found me cleaning. What do you think? That today was good, but one day doesn't erase 6 years. Will you believe him? I'll believe him when I see consistency. 3 weeks later, Javier sent a message. How are the kids? I replied. Good. Thanks for asking. The dinosaur you gave him is still his favorite. Yes, he sleeps with it. I'm glad. It was strange. Javier had never asked about my kids before. 2 months passed. Javier sent messages every week. Nothing profound. Just, how are you? Or, Mom is happy. You guys? Javier is changing. He is trying. But I need to see more. What more do you want? Consistency. That it's not just a show for 2 months. In the 3rd month, my daughter got sick. Bronchitis. She was in the hospital for 3 days. Javier found out through Mom. He arrived at the hospital without warning. How is she? Better, the fever went down. Do you need anything? Coffee? Food? I'm fine. He sat in the waiting room. He stayed for 2 hours. Didn't say much. Just was there. When my daughter woke up, Javier came in with us. Hi, Princess. Your uncle came to see you. My daughter smiled weakly. Hi, Uncle. Javier gave her a small stuffed animal to keep her company. Thank you. That night, as he was leaving, I stopped him. Thank you for coming. She is my niece. Where else would I be? Something in my chest loosened a little. 4 months passed since my son's birthday. Javier kept every promise. Consistent messages, presents at family events, thoughtful gifts. But then came Lucas's birthdays. Javier sent the invitation to the group. My stomach tensed. It was the real test. Are you going? Asked my husband. Yes, with a gift. Are you sure? If Javier is trying, I must try too. I bought a moderate gift. 30. Nothing extravagant like before. We arrived at the party. Javier saw us enter and approached immediately. You came. I said I would come. I thought maybe after all, if you are changing, I can also take steps forward. Thanks for coming. It was genuine. The party was, different from previous ones. Javier included us in conversations. Claudia sat with us. The kids played together without tension. Mom pulled me aside. I'm proud of you. Of me? Why? For giving a chance. For not closing the door forever. I'm still evaluating, Mom. I know, but you came. That is important. 1 week later, Javier called. He didn't write, he called. Can I invite you, your husband, and the kids to dinner? Why? Because I want to spend time with you guys. Get to know my nephews better, be really family. When? Friday. Let me confirm with my husband. That night, I spoke with my husband. Javier invited us to dinner. What do you think? I think it's another step, but I'm always cautious. Do you want to go? Yes, but with clear boundaries. If something feels wrong, we leave. Sounds good to me. On Friday, we went to Javier's house. The table was set. Claudia was cooking. Welcome. Dinner was normal. We talked about work, the kids, future plans. Javier asked about my kids' school. Claudia shared recipes with my husband. Matias and Lucas played with my kids without fighting. It was the first time in years I felt comfortable in that house, but then Claudia said something that threw me off. Javier, are you going to tell them? Tell what? I asked. Javier felt uncomfortable. Claudia, it's not the time. I think it's the perfect time. What are you doing? I insisted. Javier sighed. We are in therapy, Claudia and I. Couples therapy and family therapy. Why? Because the therapist made us see many things, among them, how we treat your family. Claudia continued. The therapist questioned us about our family relationships. When Javier described the situation with you, the therapist said it was emotional abuse. Emotional abuse? Taking and never giving, expecting and never responding. That is what we did. Javier added, the therapist made me write a list of all the times we used you. There were 32 situations in 6 years. I stayed silent. It wasn't just the gifts, continued Javier. It was the times I canceled plans, the times I arrived late, the times I ignored your messages, the times I minimized your feelings. Why are you telling me this now? Because I need you to know that my change isn't temporary, it's real. I am working on being a better person, a better brother, a better uncle. And if I relapse, then I will go back to therapy and keep trying, but I won't go back to being who I was. I looked at Claudia. Are you in therapy too? Yes, I also need to work on myself. I was complicit in all this. My husband squeezed my hand under the table. Thank you for saying that, I said. Finally. Does anything change? Asked Javier. It changes that now I know you guys are serious. Javier nodded. You will see. That night walking home, my husband asked, do you believe them? I'm starting to believe them, but I will keep observing. Seems fair. Do you believe? I think they are doing the work. That is more than what many people do. He was right. Javier was doing the work. Now we just had to see if he would maintain it. But for the first time in years, I felt real hope. Not false hope from before, but hope based on consistent actions. And it was something new. 6 months after this. Dinner. Javier continues fulfilling weekly messages, monthly visits, presents at important events. But then came my oldest son's birthdays. Javier canceled 3 hours before. I'm sorry, Matias is sick, high fever. We can't leave the hospital. My first instinct was to get mad. It had been months of consistency and now this. But then I received another message, a photo of Matias in the hospital bed with a thermometer. I swear it's real. Claudia is getting medicine. We will make it up to you. My husband saw my face. What happened? I showed him the messages. The photo looks real, but it could be old. Call Mom. Do you know if Matias is in the hospital? Yes. Claudia called me an hour ago. Fever of 39, 102-degree bow. Doctors are monitoring him. It was real, I replied to Javier. Okay, take care of your son. We'll talk later. Thanks for understanding. The party went on without them. But something changed in me. I didn't feel the automatic anger from before. I felt genuine worry for Matias. 2 days later, Javier appeared at my house. He brought my son's gift and a written note from Matias. Sorry for missing your party. I hope you like the gift, your cousin Matias. Your handwriting was a child's. It was genuine. Matias insisted on writing it, said Javier. I explained that canceling commitments has consequences. How is he? Better. The fever went down. I'm glad. Javier looked straight at me. I know I had to be here, and I would have been if Matias wasn't. Really sick. I know, seriously, I saw the photo. Mom confirmed it, and you arrived later with the gift and the apology. So you aren't mad? No, because this time I saw real effort. Javier exhaled, relieved. I was afraid you would think I was going back to before. Before was ignoring without explanation. This was different. Thanks for noticing. After Javier left, my husband asked, Are you really not mad? No, because for the first time in years I saw that the importance fell. It is progress. Yes, it is progress. 1 month later, Claudia called me. She didn't write. She called. Can we talk personally without Javier? When? Tomorrow at the cafe near your house. Okay. The next day, I went to the cafe. Claudia was already there, looking nervous. Thanks for coming. What is this about? Claudia took a deep breath. I want to apologize. For me, not for Javier, for me. Okay. For years, I was part of the problem. I saw how Javier treated you and said nothing. Even worse, I did it too. How? When you bought expensive gifts, I mocked you with Javier. I said you were trying to show off, that you were conceited. That hurt, but I let her continue. I never recognized your effort, I never thanked you, I never reciprocated, and when you set boundaries, I called you dramatic. Why are you telling me this now? Because in therapy, I understood that I also needed to do this. Javier is working on his relationship with you. I need to work on mine. What do you want from me? A chance. Not to erase the past, but to build something new. What does that mean exactly? It means I want to be a real sister-in-law, that I want our kids to have a real relationship, that I want to stop being the villain of this story. You aren't the villain, Claudia. You were complicit. There is a difference, but the damage is the same. What are you going to change? Claudia took out her phone, showed me her calendar. I marked your kids' birthdays, important dates, everything. I set alarms 3 weeks before to buy gifts on time. Seriously, I am. Also doing individual therapy to work on my competitiveness. Competitiveness? Yes. My therapist says I always saw you as competition. Javier's perfect sister, the one who does everything right. I was never perfect, I know that now. But then I believed it. So I did that, I don't know, to diminish. To you. Diminish me like not recognizing your efforts, minimizing your gifts, arriving late on purpose sometimes. That explains a lot. Thanks for being honest. So, can I have a chance? Under the same conditions as Javier, it is consistent effort. No empty promises, real actions. I accept. If I fail, I know. The chances run out. Exactly. Claudia nodded. Okay, it's fair. We said goodbye. That night I told everything to my husband. Do you believe her? I want to believe her, but I will observe just like Javier. Both are making efforts. Yes, but it's 6 months and not 6 years. How much time is necessary to trust? I don't know. Maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe never completely. And that is okay too. 2 weeks later, Claudia sent a message. Can I take my kids to play with yours without Javier? Just us and the kids? It was strange. We never spent time together without Javier. When? Saturday. Okay. Saturday. Claudia was punctual. The kids ran to play. We sat in the garden. This is weird, said Claudia. Yes, but good weird, I think. We stayed silent for a moment. Then Claudia spoke. How did you manage to set such clear limits? Practice and the feeling of not doing it. I could never do it with my family, with Javier, with anyone. Why not? Fear. Fear that they abandon me if I demand respect. And now I understand that if they abandon you for asking for respect, they never really respected you. Exactly. We spent the afternoon talking. Really, talking. For the first time in years. When she left, my daughter said, Aunt Claudia is nice when she isn't being mean. People can change when they want. Do you think she wants to? I think she is trying. That is enough for now. Yes. That night before sleeping, my husband asked me, Are you ready to forgive? It isn't about total forgiveness. It's about rebuilding trust. What is the difference? Forgiveness is for me, trust is for them, and trust is earned with time. Do you think they are going to achieve it? I think there is a real possibility for the first time. The next day, Mom organized a family dinner. The whole family, not just us. I want everyone to see we are healing, she said. We arrived with caution. Javier and Claudia were there. The uncles, the cousins, everyone. Aunt Elena approached. I'm proud of you. Defending your limits worked. Uncle Carlos said, You taught Javier an important lesson. Cousin Anna, I am also learning from you. I set limits with my brother. The dinner was different. Javier and Claudia made an effort, asked about my kids, included my husband in conversations, helped clean small things, but constant. Mom pulled me aside before left. How do you feel? Better, but still cautious. It is understandable. And you, how do you feel? Relieved. I have 2 children talking again, but different from before. Yes, different, but better. She was right, it was different. There were limits now, clear rules, real consequences, but there was also genuine effort, and that was more than I had in 6 years. Walking home, my husband took my hand. You did it. Did what? Teach them to treat you well. Still remains to see if it is permanent, but after the first step, it is harder. Which one? Demanding what you deserve. I smiled. Yes, that was done, and no matter what happens after, that lesson was mine and my children's forever. A year and a half after that birthday without a gift, my daughter turned 9. Javier and Claudia arrived at 2 p.m. on the dot. They brought 2 wrapped gifts and a card made by Matias and Lucas. Happy birthday, the 4 said in unison. My daughter smiled. Thank you. Javier approached me while Claudia helped organize the table. 18 months without failing a single time. I have noticed. Do you trust me yet? Yes, no. That means I trust your constant effort. Trust is little by little. Javier nodded. Seems fair. The party went perfectly. Javier and Claudia stayed until the end, helped clean without anyone asking. Matias and Lucas played with my kids without constant supervision. When everyone left, my husband said, "It feels different now. Different like natural, like real family." He was right. There was no tension anymore. Nothing had to be forced. 1 week later, I received a call from Aunt Elena. Can I ask you something? Sure. How did you know when it was the moment to set limits? When the pain of staying was greater than the fear of leaving? Javier told me everything that happened. The presentation, the family meeting, the clear limits, and I need to do the same with my sister. She used me for years, and I never said anything. Why are you telling me this? Because you gave me permission. By defending yourself, you showed me it is okay to defend oneself. After hanging up, I realized something. My decision to set limits not only changed my relationship with Javier, it changed how others in the family saw their own relationships. Cousin Anna wrote to me 2 weeks later. I did what you did. I confronted my brother with evidence. It worked. Uncle Carlos shared at a dinner. I told my partner I wouldn't accept working without payment. I used your words, reciprocity. Even Mom started setting limits with some friends who used her. But the even bigger change was for my children. One day, my son came home from school angry. What happened? My friend Carlos always asks for my games, but never lends me his. And what did you do? I'm going to talk to him, like you talked to Uncle Javier. What are you going to tell him? That friendship is of 2. If he doesn't share, I'm not going to share anymore either. I kneeled in front of him. Do you know what is most important for setting limits? What? That what you say, you fulfill. If Carlos doesn't change, will you be okay without his friendship? Yes, because I have other friends who share. Then do it. The next day, he told me what he spoke with Carlos. Carlos got mad first, but then asked for apologies and shared his toys. See, Mom? It worked. It doesn't always work that fast. Sometimes people don't change like Uncle Javier, or they take a long time, but you changed. That is the most important thing. My daughter also learned. When a friend canceled plans constantly, she set a limit. She told her she would only make plans with her if they were fulfilled. If she canceled without reason, she wouldn't invite her again. And what did she say? That she understands and is going to try to be a better friend. Seeing my kids defend their limits was the best result of all. On Matias's birthday, 2 years after everything, something changed. The invitation was received with a personal message from Javier. I know for years I didn't value you. I hope now you know how much you mean to us. Please come. We bought a $50 gift. No obligation, but because we wanted to. At the party, Claudia pulled me aside. Can I tell you something? Sure, thanks. Why? For not giving up on us. for giving us the chance to change. I didn't do it for you, I did it for me. But I appreciate it anyway. Javier approached with a box. This is for you. For me, it's not my birthday. Open it. Inside was a photo album. Photos of the last 2 years. Javier with my kids, Claudia with my kids, the 4 cousins together. Family meals, birthdays, normal days. I want you to have evidence, said Javier. Evidence that I changed, that I am different now. The tears surprised me, not of sadness, of relief. Thank you. No. Thanks to you for not letting me be mediocre, for demanding what you deserved. That night I reviewed the entire album with my husband. How do you feel? He asked. Proud of them? No, of me. For not having yielded, for having kept my limits, even when it was hard. I changed the whole family dynamic. I changed my life, and that changed everything else. The next day, Mom came to visit me. I need to ask for forgiveness. Why? For all the years I asked you to be the oldest, to yield, to understand. I put the burden of maintaining peace on you while Javier did what he wanted. Thanks for recognizing it. Javier is a better person now thanks to you. Claudia too. The whole family learned something. I didn't do it to teach lessons, Mom. I did it to survive. I know, but we all learned too. 3 years after the birthdays without a gift, I organized a dinner at my house. Javier and Claudia arrived on time to help cook. The cousins set the table together. Mom brought dessert. During dinner, my son said, Uncle Javier, do you remember when you didn't come to my birthdays? Everyone went quiet. Javier looked at my son. Yes, champ, I remember. Why didn't you come? Because I was selfish. Because I didn't understand the importance it had. And now do you understand? Yes, now I do. Good, because I like that you come. Javier smiled. I like coming too. After dinner, while we were washing dishes, Claudia said, Did you ever imagine we would arrive here? Honestly, no. It was worth it. All the conflict, the fights, the limits, every second. Because now I have something real. It is not a fake family based on my sacrifice, but a real family based on mutual respect. I prefer it this way too. That night, I put my kids to bed. My daughter asked, Mommy, why are you smiling? Because I am happy. Why? Because I defended what was important, and it worked. Does it always work? Not always. Sometimes you have to walk away from people who don't change, but when it works, it is beautiful. I'm also going to be a defender of what is important. I hope so, my love. I hope so. I closed her bedroom door and went to the living room. My husband was reviewing photos on his phone. Look at this. It was a photo from today. Everyone together smiling. Real. Save it, I said. That is evidence. Evidence of what? That setting limits doesn't destroy families. It improves them. He hugged me. I'm proud of you. I am also proud of me. It was true. I had gone from being the sister who carried all the weight to being the sister who taught the value of reciprocity. My children grew up seeing they could defend their limits. My family learned that love without respect is not enough, and I learned the most important lesson of all, that I deserve the same as I give, that reciprocity is not optional in healthy relationships, that it is okay to demand respect, and that sometimes the best revenge isn't to destroy, it is to build something better on the limits you impose. Javier never failed again. Claudia became a real friend. My children grew up strong and secure, and finally I rested. Not because everything was perfect, but because finally it was fair.